And
Hey,
we're live.
on the air. Okay, folks, that wasn't too bad at all. Here we go. Let's start a show. There you go. You found us on a Thursday evening. And to you, we say welcome to Caching in the Northwest. This is the only podcast dedicated to geocaching in the great Pacific Northwest. We're going to talk about caches and cachers unique to this little corner of the country. So while you're flipping the calendar to the right month, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
That's right. And that means it's time to bring in our well-mannered monkey. Some say the Border Patrol has a daily briefing on his find count. And others say he's been asked to auction off the personal effects of the last 7 prime ministers. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Caching in the Northwest. We're so glad you're joining us tonight. And, speaking of things and thinking of things that we are so glad about, not only are we glad to have our great guest, Terry from Gold Country. Hi, Terry.
Hi.
Who we also are going to perhaps talk about being the most returningest guest on this show ever. But we're also really thankful to our supporters, all the folks who put up their hard-earned money to help make sure this podcast is successful week after week. And we want to thank our faithful Denali level supporters, and that would be Limax, Team Squirrel, and WorldCaching.com. And folks, if you want to know more about supporting the show, make sure you click on the Patreon link on the CachingNW.com website. Now, for tonight's show, we are going to talk about Gold Country. But before we get to gold, let's talk about something else shiny, glow.
Ooh.
Now, yeah, you like that? Now, Caching in the Northwest does have a badge to shine up and polish up your geocaching.com profile page. If you submit a glow or a geocaching log of the week, you can have your very own glow badge to put on your geocaching.com profile. Either the new profile or the old profile, it doesn't matter. It still works.
That's right. Because, we want to make your profile look better, whether it's new or old. So whether it is you who wrote it or read it, we want to hear about it, because great logs simply make geocaching better. Send an email to feedback@cachingnw.com. You know what? You can call into 253-693-TFTC or use the voicemail tool on the website and show us just how you glow.
That's right. We want to hear about it. There's been some great ones. And there's another great one tonight, contributed by frequent listener and friend of the podcast, Buddy Meow of Buddy and Kitsy Meow. And it's from GCGEZ7 Gold Mountain Challenge.
Hey, thanks for that, Zed. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. It's the ham radio that prompts that. But anyway, but you can take credit for the Canadian influence. Why not? The log reads, I didn't know I'd be taking the Gold Mountain Challenge when I woke this morning. If I had, I might have stayed in bed. I set off from Tacoma with my Muggle coworker heading towards Gold Mountain, where we were scheduled to decommission some radio equipment from a communications site. On the drive up to the site, I decided to check my geocaching app to see if there were any caches nearby, and I found a good one. In fact, the cache was only 260 feet from the site I was already going to. That's serendipity, baby. With that thought in mind, I determined that I must find the cache. It was just too perfect. So we completed our task, and I told my coworker that I was going for a walk during our lunch break. Never mind that it was pouring rain outside. And off I went. It took me a few tries to find a trail, but eventually I found one that led me to the base of a big rock cliff. My phone told me that I was only 24 feet away from the cache, so I started climbing. It was somewhere about this point that I realized I was probably approaching the cache from the most difficult route possible, but I could do nothing but press on. I was really missing Kitsy right about now. I quickly made it to the summit, found the cache, yay, and found the benchmarks. Now the hard part was getting down in one piece. So I said a prayer and headed back down the way I came. Needless to say, I got down safely, prayer works, and lived to tell the tale. Although I was soaked to the bone, I had added a well-earned smiley to our map. Yay again. Many thanks, James M.S., for the challenging cache and for the wonderful adventure. Cheers from Buddy Meow.
Nice. Well, that sounds like quite the epic adventure. A
Mhm.
well-earned smiley.
Yes, and how many of us have approached a cache thinking this is not the easiest way to this cache? There has to be a better approach.
You're almost there. So there's a cliff in your way. So what?
Yeah, you know, bushwhacking not required, but that doesn't stop us from doing it anyway.
Bushwhacking not required, but enjoyable.
That's right.
All right. Well, hey, you know what, folks? If there's a milestone cache find that you're celebrating, why not call it in to 253-693-TFTC and share it with the entirety of the Northwest geocaching community? Well, in fact, you can try and do it just like Billy Robson did.
Hey guys, thanks a lot for the great show. This is Billy Robson calling. Just listened to show 199 while I was driving across boring Kansas to Mingo. But anyway, I'm phoning in to report on the Parkland County's Geo Tour. Really worth going up to Alberta to explore that county. It's a beautiful county. It's got some really nice caches there. And you get to find the Doctor Who one at the very end. So keep up the good works and hope to meet somebody there at the Going Ape event. Keep on caching.
Well, thanks for calling in, Billy. And on a funny side note, you know, we use Google Voice and it does a little translation there. It says, you know, hope to meet somebody at the Going Ape event. It's the Going Ape prevent people on caching. So, oh, in case you wanted to prevent people on caching.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, yes, we do appreciate the call in. And, you know, we'd love to hear from more of you. So use that voicemail tool on the website. It's really easy and it sounds great. Or give us a call, 253-693-TFTC. In other news, this is from our local Como News here in Seattle. Story from Granite Falls, Washington, about a hiker who dislocated his ankle. He was rescued from the Lime Kiln Trail on Thursday afternoon, and we do love Thursdays because, well, that's Caching in the Northwest Day. I think we're going to petition to rename Thursday to Caching in the Northwest Day. But anyway, the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office says its search and rescue unit and volunteers from Snohomish County Volunteer Search and Rescue got an FTF when they found this hiker in the woods. They put the man, he was in his 50s, in a wheeled litter and got him out on a logging road. He's taken to Providence Regional Medical Center in Everett. Now, the rescue operation did take 4 hours, which is about how long it takes me to find just a typical urban cache. But no word on whether this hiker was geocaching. But really, why else would you be out there? Right?
Exactly. I mean, nobody just goes out for a hike anymore.
No, there's geocaching involved. Come on.
Exactly.
And if there wasn't, there should have been.
If there wasn't, you're not doing it right.
That's right. But, you know, it just goes back to all of the times we've talked about trail safety and all those things. So be safe out there. Let someone know where you're going and go back and check some of our prior episodes talking about search and rescue and safety on the trail.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, he dislocated his ankle. So, I mean, it's not like he ran out of water or got lost.
Right.
You know, this one, but I want to let you know the rescue operation took 4 hours.
4 hours. Yeah.
Plan for extra water. You know, it may be an hour hike, but you're laying on the trail for a couple of hours. It's not a lot of fun.
No.
Well, and that's why we always like to support our search and rescue organizations. Certainly, you know, for me, all the ones up in BC here, it's all staffed by volunteers, and they're working hard year round to train. And then, you know, they get called out. They get called in the winter. They get called out in the summer. They get called in the spring. They get called in the fall. They're always getting called out, and you know, it's good to see the stories when they find people and bring them back home safe.
Exactly. And I like to put those in just to let people know that, hey, if you have a problem, there are people who are willing to come out and help you.
Absolutely.
Isn't it a great place we live in?
Hmm.
You know, geocaching.com has a blog, and occasionally they put up articles that are interesting.
Occasionally, they're interesting.
Occasionally they put up articles, and their articles are interesting.
Oh, there you go.
There's a comment, and if you don't take the time to pause,
Yeah.
anyway.
Way to backpedal.
Thank you. One of their latest was 4 reasons to start using Project-GC or Project GC. That project-gc.com.
It's Project GC for Canadian listeners.
Project, yes.
Thank you.
Is an official geocaching HQ partner that aims to provide dynamic stats for cachers around the world. What started as a side project for geocaching friends quickly became a highly requested feature among geocachers across the globe. You can do things like top list, and these are dynamically modified lists. They have challenge checkers. They have profile stats. They have that virtual GPS, which is really cool. In fact, you know, we ought to have Magnus on the show to come and talk about Project GC. I should give him a call or maybe an email because, well, he'd be asleep right now.
Yes, but it is a cool site, and I'm so thankful I have a premium membership for it right now, and able to use things like that virtual GPS, which I never really fully understood. I'd listened to Magnus on the show with you and Daryl talking about the virtual GPS and some of the things you can do with it, but until I actually started playing with it and seeing what I can actually do with it, it is a really powerful tool, really neat.
Yes, how cool it is. And it really is. It's a shopping cart for your geocaches is what they say here. It gives you the opportunity to cherry pick caches you want to put into a GPX file.
Yeah, I use it for tracking my Jasmer caches I have yet to find. Works really well for that.
And I can't tell you the number of people that use their profile stats, the Project GC profile stats on their profile page.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's a super quick way if you don't want to go through the effort of doing it the GSAC macro way and then posting that and everything. It's a really quick way to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, question from the chat room there.
What's up?
What does premium on Project GC give you that a normal Project GC does not?
Well, one of the big ones, okay, everybody can use a challenge checker, but if you're a premium member, you have the automatic challenge checkers. In fact, it's going to go through and process every one of the challenges that are listed there and tell you if you qualify for it and be able to map that out for you.
Very nice.
Oh, and according to Broncos Fans for Life, it updates your stats daily versus weekly.
Okay.
Cool.
There are a lot of other things. It's that automatic challenge checker, which is wonderful.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. All right. Well, moving along, we'll hit another news story here quickly. Another recent story, not super recent, but within the last few days, I think, from the geocaching.com blog again. As we all know, Signal the Frog is now coming to Canada. Woot! And on Canada Day weekend, July 1st, July 2nd, attend or host an event, and you'll get a special, unique Canada 150 souvenir. So we're pretty happy about that. Well, in order to help us folks, either locals here or, you know, some of you folks who haven't maybe made it up here for a good visit and some geocaching, we've got a list of some of the cool caches in Canada, according to Signal the Frog. So there was apparently a survey that was done to guess where Signal was going to travel before it was announced that it was coming to Canada. They had 11,600 plus responses from around the world, and over 50% of the people who voted said Canada. So apparently most of our population in Canada voted. And you know, it said the answer we chose was the one we were given, which was Canada. Signal likes poutine. Just want to actually clarify, there are other things to eat in Canada besides
Timbits.
There's also Timbits. No, there's tons of amazing, great food. And especially if you head up to Gold Country, and we're going to get Terry to talk about that in a little while. But so yeah, so there you go. That's the game plan. That's what's going on. So if you check out that article, there are a few of the cool caches in Canada, and it's a very short list, and just hits a couple of the provinces, a couple of the top favorite point caches. But I'll tell you, if you're a listener to this show and you're planning to come up to Canada for the Canada Day souvenir, there are some great caches in BC, and you don't have to travel that far to get to them. In fact, even if you want to get into gold country from crossing the border, it's not that hard. And again, we're going to get Terry to talk about that in a little bit. So,
All right.
But before we jump into that, Terry, we're just going to keep you holding off just a few moments longer. So we got one other thing we want to bring up for our listeners.
It's even more recent news.
Even more recent news, like
20 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago news. All right. For all of you who hung your head in disappointment and shook your head in disbelief at the hosts of this show canceling the Monte Cristo hike, well, we've got good news, folks.
We didn't cancel. We postponed.
That's right. Thank you for clarifying that. The new date is up. The new date is July 29th of 2017. So like this year. So guys, if you want to come and join us, the form is still up there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is still in place. Is that correct?
Yes. And since we decided on it just 20 minutes ago, I haven't even had a chance to go update it, but expect that tomorrow.
And since today is June 1, well, the hike is next month.
Yeah.
Almost 2 months away.
Yes, but it's just next month.
Oh, yeah, it's just next month. I mean, it's almost here.
So it'll be here before you know it.
Okay.
All right. So more news to come on that, and we'll keep promoting that so you guys know what to do and how to join us if you want to come on the Monte Cristo hike. But enough about us. We want to bring in our patient guest. Chris, do you want to introduce?
Well, we have Terry Hadwin, the COO of the Gold Country Community Society. Thank you for being so patient with us, Terry.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, we're so glad you're back. It's such a noble title, the COO. That's fantastic.
The coup.
The coup. There you go.
Is that
Now
how you got the title? There was a coup?
Thought it was
I think that's different. I'm going to go with that's different. So we're excited to talk about Gold Country. I have had Gold Country on my bucket list for quite a while. But in the event that any listeners have missed the previous episodes, I don't know where they've been, or maybe we've got some brand new listeners. Can you tell us a little bit about where exactly we can find Gold Country? Is it at the end of a rainbow in a big black pot with a leprechaun? Is that the Gold Country we're talking about?
Well, we are a beautiful place that you might find at the end of the rainbow, sure.
I believe that very much, yes.
Geographically, though, we are we're in the interior of BC. We are about 9,000 square miles big. We go north to 76 Mile. We go east to Cherry Creek. We go south just past Merritt, just past Lytton. We go west to Lillooet, and then we cover all of the beautiful communities in between.
Nice.
It's a big area. It's a beautiful and amazing area. Just love spending time up there. So Terry, we're curious how things are going with the Geo Tour. It's been around for a few years now. Is it still going strong? Is there any cool facts or anything you want to share with us about it?
Yeah, it's been going strong for 8 years now. We are hoping to keep it active for at least another 5. We've definitely got the materials to sustain us. So that's our hope, is to just keep it running, and so that people can continue coming back to the Gold Country region. I know a lot of people ask us, how long does it take to finish your Geo Tour? Well, that can vary a lot. I have been at it for 5 years and still am not done. So actually, I'm down to just needing one more to finish phase 1. So my big coup de grace will be Clapperton Falls, I guess. So it can take you at least 2 weeks, I would say, if you wanted to just plow right through it. But I definitely recommend return visits.
Nice. Now, I mean, having a Geo Tour running for 8 years is incredible, and planning for another 5, that has to be one of the longest running Geo Tours.
Yeah, no big deal.
Okay. And humble too, with my dad. I've kind of heard some rumors that this may be the last year for the Gold Country events. Is there any truth to that rumor?
That is a true story. So if you've been putting it off saying, you know, one day, 1 year we'll make it, this is probably going to be our grand finale. This will be our 5th annual geocaching event, and we've felt that it's been an excellent ride, definitely well worth doing every year, but it's just costing us a little bit more than we're getting in return financially from it, and it's taking a lot of our staff hour times away from other things that we could be working on. So we've told our volunteers that if they would like to continue keeping it going, that we'll support them in any way that we possibly can, but we can't be the leads on the events anymore. So this is quite possibly the very last one. Yes.
All right. So the very last one, Terry, you want to tell us if there's anything special going on for this last one, and when it is, where it is, anything like that?
You bet. So it is the September long weekend, so September 1st until the 4th. We are celebrating Canada's 150th birthday by releasing some new geocaches to our actual geo tour. So it'll have the same quality of geocaches that we have released in our previous phases of phase 1 and phase 2 of our geo tour, which will include the stickers, which you can redeem for a trackable gold bar. And yeah, it'll have all the great fun stories associated with them. And what's always great is the amazing writer that we have. She did quite a few stories for our phase 2, and she's a geocacher, so she knows what we're after. She knows the little tidbits that we want to hear about when we're out geocaching. So really, really thrilled to have her working with us on our new release.
That's awesome. You know, Terry, just talking about the stories and the cache descriptions as you were. One of the things that I've got to share with you and with our listeners that I've found, I've done a number of geo tours and have done a few that are in that are like Gold Country, spread out over a very large area and take you into some unique terrain. And what I find unique about the Gold Country Geo Tour, as opposed to a number of those other ones, is the fact that you, with the books, whether you print them off yourself, PDFs, or whether you go and buy the actual bound books, you include really good descriptions about how to get to the cache area. So not like exact letterbox description of, you know, take 10 steps here and turn left and it's up, but you know, take this highway, take this exit on that highway, follow this road this many kilometers, that'll get you to the trailhead at these coordinates. And that is super helpful as a cacher, Terry. So, you know, thanks for putting that in.
Yeah, it was very important to us because we were finding that when we were first going out, many people had never heard of geocaching and didn't really know much about it. So when we were introducing our geo tour, we were also introducing geocaching. So we really needed to be as beginner friendly as we possibly could be. And so that is why we do offer the books online for free. Please do buy them because it keeps our geo tour going strong. But yeah, we definitely wanted to make it accessible to absolutely everybody. So that's why we included all those handy directions.
Nice.
Awesome.
In the chat, GeoNav Pro says, buy the books, buy the books.
That's right.
Yeah. So also in the chat, Tracy from World Caching has a question for you, Terry. And she asks, which Gold Country towns are the various day events in this year?
Hi, Tracy. So we started off in Savannah, and then we will likely be going to the Lac Lejeune area, but that hasn't been 100% pinned down, but you can plan for that area, Lac Lejeune, Tonquin-ish area. And then we head to, where do we go next? I think we go to, geez, I should know this off the top of my head. It's coming up soon. I think it's Merritt, and then I'm going to say Lytton.
Okay.
Yes,
So
that's
Merritt will be
exactly
the
what it
biggest
is.
of those towns that the event's hitting.
Nice.
Yes, Merritt is our biggest community in Gold Country.
So
And-
there's 4 events in 4 towns over 4 days.
That's correct.
Oh, that's amazing.
Nice. Nice. And World Caching, Tracy also contributes that they also have the books for sale from World Caching.
Yes, they
So
do.
if you need those books.
there you go.
Excuse me. So the events may be wrapping up, but the Geo Tour, you said, will continue, which
Yes.
prompts a question from Brylangs, who asks, does that mean there will still be gold bar trackables to earn?
That's right. We hope to have enough trackable gold bars to sustain us for at least another 5 years.
Nice.
And
Wow.
the puzzle coins as well.
Cool.
Those coins are a bit puzzling. Also, Terry, we have 3 hams in a row asking if they end up having leftover gold bars, if and when the series does wrap up, will you be able to buy them?
Nope.
Just so you recover your initial costs, of course.
Nope. We'll throw them in the drink. No, we have always said that those gold bars have always, from the very get-go, you need to earn them, and we would stand by that. I feel that very strongly about that. It's been why they've been so highly desired and why people work so hard at our Geo Tour. So yeah, we would definitely honor that.
That's pretty cool. And yeah,
Nice.
it's hard work to earn your coins, I gotta say. Not all of these caches are just parking grabs. You gotta work for a few of them. You gotta work for a lot of them, actually.
That's right.
Hey, Terry, we're kind of curious, and we wanted to ask you about this because maybe not for all the folks in the Northwest have heard about this, but definitely those of us in BC have been hearing a lot about some nasty weather you guys have been getting through the spring and possibly some flooding up in Gold Country. First of all, we're concerned about how that's affecting the folks in the towns up there. But secondly, has there been any impact to the trails and the caches of the Geo Tour?
We haven't heard of any of our geocaches becoming inaccessible or washing away, which is good. But it happens from time to time. I mean, every year we've had issues with forest fires or something going wrong. They're out in the elements. So just whenever the opportunity comes to reestablish the cache, then we put them back out there. And when we are aware of if there's any flooding that would impede your ability to go out and find any geocaches, we definitely post that to the pages so that people are aware. Just this last weekend, I went to find a geocache that I had some concern. I didn't know if I would be able to get there due to flooding, but everything was fine. So the water was incredibly close to the road, though. Yeah, it's one of those seasons. You never know when you're gonna face flooding like that. It's been fairly devastating, losing quite a few roads, and some people have lost their homes, which is always very sad. But it's just one of those things you just never know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
It's
floods are devastating. I mean, everything's still there, but it's destroyed. So
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Be
hardy
better.
place to live, filled with hardy people. That's what I've learned about Gold Country.
Yeah.
Yes, it's beautiful 99% of the time. So sometimes we just have to deal with the natural disasters.
There you go. There you go. Well, I appreciate you sharing that with us, Terry. So it sounds like if folks are interested in coming up this summer, Gold Country Geo Tour is open. Come on up. Right on.
Yes, please do. And I've got 8 left to go. So if you're looking at doing any and you want some company, just let me know.
All right. I'm going to take
I
you up
have to
on
do
that offer.
Burkholder, which is about like a 6 or 7 hour hike. So I could do some company.
There you go.
All
And
right.
what better
Somebody that
company
I can
can
outrun if
people
there's a
have?
bear.
The COO. What better company can people have than to take the COO with them?
Mm. Guided tour. Because I don't know where I'm going.
we should set up an event for a hike.
Yes. Right.
Awesome. So, Terry, you were mentioning some new caches coming out this year for the Canada 150 and to kind of even up the number to 150.
Mhm.
So, does that still Does that still work in with the same principle of how the existing coin earning works with the caches? Maybe you can quickly explain that if people don't know how the Gold Country Geo Tour works.
Right. So if you visit any of our geocaches, they have stickers on the inside. And when you collect 24 stickers, you send them in on a sheet, and we send you a souvenir trackable gold bar. So with the 8 new ones, there'll be a sheet of just 8. So if you wanted to just go after the new release Geo Tour caches, some people have finished our entire Geo Tour, so we're making it so that if they find those specific 8, then they would still get a trackable gold bar, and then people can redeem it for the trackable gold bar for the year of 2017.
Cool. Now, and those 8 are spread out across the entirety of Gold Country?
Oh, I can't. You sounded like a robot there. I didn't quite catch
sorry,
that.
no, I thought you said you finished. Okay, I was just asking, those 8 new caches, that are spread out all over Gold Country, or are they in a particular
Yes,
area?
they'll be spread out. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they will be. So they're not out yet, or they're about to be launched?
They will be launched on the September long weekend.
Oh, okay. In conjunction with the event. Sorry, I missed that part. Okay. Very cool.
I might not have mentioned it.
Very cool. Hey, so it sounds like there's lots of people who are really keen on coming up and checking out Gold Country. Now, if somebody's coming up from, let's say, coming up I-5 into Canada, and they want to check out Gold Country, or if somebody lives in the Lower Mainland and they listen to this podcast, but they've just never made it quite up to Gold Country, what's the best way into Gold Country, Terry?
Best way? Oh my gosh, you're asking me to play favorites.
Yeah, I am.
Well, it would depend on which area you're coming from. If you're coming from the Lower Mainland, you'll probably come up through Hope, and then you can either enter around the Merritt area, or you can take the Fraser Canyon in Lytton. Or if you're coming from the Whistler area, the Duffy Road, everybody loves the Duffy Road to take you into Lillooet. If you're coming from like Alaska, then you'll enter around 76 Mile, and you're going to want to stop for some poutine at the Sugar Shack. Which is an absolute staple of food. I don't know what Jay's talking about. Or, sorry, that is the only food in Canada, I swear. And
I'm actually I do love some good bannock myself too. So.
Oh yes, bannock, totally. Don't panic, we've got bannock.
There you go.
And then if you're coming from like the east, if you're coming from Alberta, Kamloops, then you'd be coming right up around Savinaw, whereas that's where I live. That's where I hail from. So yeah, that's basically all the best entry points, I guess. If you're wanting to learn a little bit more about Gold Country and the geocaching event that we have coming up, I will be in Abbotsford next week for the BCGA, or the British Columbia Geocaching Association event that they've got going on. So if you wanted to come and ask me any questions that you think of while you're laying in bed wide awake tonight, you can come and visit me next week.
There you go. It sounds like an open invitation.
Lovely. Yes. So if you happen to be in Abbotsford next week, stop and see Terry.
Well, now there's a good reason to go to Abbotsford next week.
The only reason to go to Abbotsford.
No, that's not true.
This message brought to you by the Abbotsford Bureau. All right. So I think that kind of wraps up everything we had, and we wanted to talk with you on the show. Terry, was there anything else about the Geo Tour or Gold Country in general that you wanted to share with people as we're on the cusp of summer here?
I think I forgot to talk about with the geocaching event. You also have an opportunity to win an actual Canadian Mint gold coin. So something that's not just a trackable. Although trackables are uber cool, it is an actual worth value. So yeah, that's another total perk of and a reason why to come and check out our geocaching event.
Nice.
So There is gold in them thar hills.
You betcha.
And them their events.
Yeah.
Terry, now that winter is starting to fade, are all the roads to Gold Country open?
Currently, yes. Yes, they are. They're all open. All roads lead to Gold Country.
They kind of do if you head out of the lower mainland. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you so much. Now, Terry, until next time, and you happen to be one of our most returningest guests, if that is such a word, where can our listeners find you out on the big wide internet?
Sure. Well, if you go to our website, exploregoldcountry.com, first of all, you'll find a wealth of information about our area. And then in the top right-hand corner are little links to absolutely every single social media platform I think that's out there, just about. So any of the ones that you're interested in, you can click on those. If you're wanting to follow me personally, I am on most platforms at Better with Bruce.
Nice.
Is it better with Bruce?
Pardon me?
Is it better with Bruce?
Always.
Nice. Thank you so much. Now, Land Monkey, if people wanted to stalk you on the internets, where would you go?
Hey, if you want to stalk the Land Monkeys on the internet, the best way is to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at LandMonkeyGC. You can check out our blog on landmonkey.blogspot.ca and, of course, Facebook, Team Land Monkey. But, you know, where most of the, what I hopefully consider interesting content will be is on YouTube. Just search Land Monkey on YouTube and you will find hundreds, well, over 100 videos of us going on awesome geocaching adventures, many of them in Gold Country. And I do have to actually thank Terry for giving us permission to feature some of the Gold Country caches in our videos. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, my friend Wits End, where do people
Yes, sir.
find you?
I'm right here on Thursday night. That's really the best place. Otherwise, just look for Wits End on most social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, hello. Wits End US on Google Plus, if anybody's still on Google Plus. And I'm Wits End on geocaching. You could add me as a friend there, or one of those message me there on geocaching.com. Chris, our illustrious host here, where can they find you?
Well, I also am on the Google Pluses if anybody else is still heading over there. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter. Just look for Caching NW. You know what's better yet? Head on over to cachingnw.com/host to read our bios and find all those links we just mentioned and maybe a few others that we update or don't. You never know. Just go take a look yourself.
All right. Well, while you're doing that and learning all about these amazing hosts and even more amazing guests, we want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Remember that you can be a part of this show by calling 253-693-TFTC and leaving us a comment, asking us a question, or, hey, why don't you clean our refrigerator any time of the day or night? And of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Also, your support helps to keep quality shows coming. If you like this show and you want more shows with Terry, please click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website. And close the cover before striking. This show is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Copy all right, 2017 by Chris Umfenauer. And now, folks, stay tuned for
The After Show.
Oh, folks, thank you so much. Hey, there was a lot of chat about this Canadian geocoin with a bear on it, and we're not sure who posed for the bear. We don't know if it's Skookum Bear or Buckland Bear. But there's a new Canadian geocoin that's just out on most shops. Be that geocaching.com, worldcaching.com. I think Landsharks has it. And it looks quite spectacular.
Yeah, the bear looks like the California Republic flag. bear to me, but
Actually, I think I know what bear that is. I think that's the challenge bear out past Kelowna.
oh,
Ooh.
That's the bear that's on the coin.
I'm going to see if I can go find it and put a
Even got,
picture up for it.
it's even got the terrain markings on it there.
Oh, does it?
Hmm. Isn't that what that's supposed to be?
but of course, what else could it be?
Why would it not?
Yeah, it is a neat coin. I like that. If anybody's looking at that coin and they're looking at the stylized maple leaf on the flip side from the bear and kind of wondering what's up with that, that is the official Canada 150 icon. The geodesic maple leaf there.
Yeah.
Geodesic is not the correct word, but you get the drift.
There you go. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
There you go.
Let's see if I can do a bit of zoomage. So yes, you have the stained glass maple leaf there,
yeah.
and it's a bear with topo lines.
Yeah. And like I said, it looks to me like the bear from the flag of the state of California.
It does.
So, having grown up in California, I'm
don't see
familiar
it.
with that.
No, Canadians just don't see that.
Funny.
But Limax does.
So, Terry, I got a question for you. If folks are thinking about coming up for the events, and if they're not, from the Lower Mainland, etc., where would be the most central place to try and stay if you're coming up to Gold Country and you want to try and do a bunch of the caches?
At the Len Mookie's house.
Not at the
Oh,
I would say probably for the event, it would probably be likely to stay within the Merritt or Logan Lake area, having the most campsites available. The Logan Lake campsite is beautiful and gorgeous and new, and there's tons of great parks that you can check out around that area too. I just went to Pasca Lake this last weekend, and there was nobody there. It was perfect and beautiful, and looks like you would probably get a spot pretty easily. So yeah, there's tons of spots around that area, and it'd be very central for the 4 days.
Nice. In the chat, Dora Moore says if you really want a coin, she's going to have a drawing for that coin at her upcoming event.
Hmm.
And that's the Canada Day event. I just posted the GC in the show or in the chat there. GC75QR9. That's Quebec Romeo 9.
Is
nice.
there a QR code for that? No.
9.
Okay.
That's German for no.
Got it.
QR9.
There are no options.
They have ways of making you scan.
All right. What else have we got going on here? We had IHAM sent a hashtag FATAS saying happy 50th birthday to Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Yeah, it was 50 years ago today that Sgt. Pepper first got our play.
Nice.
That was on IHAM's Twitter feed. I don't claim originality for that. Give credit to IHAM for that.
Nice one, IHAM.
Nice. Beatles forever changed what album covers should look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? Especially the white album.
It looks like I'm going to have to buy that again. Oh.
Trying to think if there's anything else that would be useful for people to know if they're coming up to Gold Country. But while I'm pondering that, I think we also did mention Terry's status as most frequent guest on the podcast.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to have to go back and look to see how many times. Is she officially a 5-timer?
It feels like 5 times.
Mm.
It feels that way.
It feels pretty comfortable. It's just like having another
It
co-host
just
on.
feels like it's been here forever.
Um,
I'm pretty sure it's at least my 4th or 5th.
It's got to be. It's got to
It's
be a
gotta be.
fourth at least.
Mm.
All right.
Okay.
So we'll do some research and figure that out. But
You would think that I'd be able to connect a lot easier by now.
Oh, you have to fight the Googles no matter how many times you've been on.
there you go.
Okay, so I see 149, A Taste of the Valley. 105, Gold Country Geo Tour. 115, Legend of Gold Country. 178, Christmas in Gold Country. And we have Return. So
That's
I'll
fine.
scout.
That's a real handful. Terry, you're a real handful.
That's 5.
I've never heard that before.
I'm
I
sure.
don't believe you.
Oh, that's
So
funny.
this is number 5.
This is number 5.
5 times.
Nice.
5 times.
There you
We
go.
have
I need a champion belt.
A belt. I was thinking a shirt, but okay.
Yeah, I think we should be doing that. I think guests who make 5 or more appearances get a Caching in the Northwest shirt. I think we.
You
can-
know, the Caching in the Northwest logo would make a dandy belt buckle.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it would indeed.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Chris.
Maybe 3D print one.
There you go. There you go. Spray paint it gold.
Is that too big for a belt buckle?
No, that's perfect.
Not if you're in Texas.
Size of my head. No, in Texas, that's small for a belt buckle.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Okay, we'll have to give Terry a prize when we see her next.
Yes, we will.
Or
Maybe
just every time you see me.
okay.
I love it.
We plan that hike together.
Yes, we will talk
Sorry?
about that, Terry.
Oh, you're cutting out on me.
As I said, we will talk about that hike. Laura and I need to do that one yet, so
Perfect.
that would be good. All right. We have anything else for tasks? Are we pretty good to wrap it up for the night?
We're
I've-
done.
It's because the only thing, it wasn't officially a FATAS, but there was a question way early on. I referenced Zed as being a ham radio influence, and somebody said, Zed or Zulu? To which I respond, well, Zed is the letter, and Zulu is the phonetic for that. It's A through Z and Alpha through Zulu. So there you go.
There you go. And with that,
Is it- you have shirts? Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't wear pants, but we have shirts.
exactly.
it's a classy podcast here, Terry.
I wore my pants to the party.
Oh, you didn't get the memo.
That's not how we podcast. But
Did you notice that Terry said she wore her pants to the party?
oh,
Okay.
from the party? Never mind.
All right.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for joining us. And until next week, make sure you get out and get caching in the Northwest.
Night, everybody.